you have a wound in your hand, would you cure that first, or would you just chop off your hand? Likewise, we should first solve the problems in our public university. That's what I'm telling you, repeat over and over again. First solve the problems of the public universities, which absorbs the cream of the best performing students. And if we are to make Sri Lanka the knowledge hub of Asia, bringing on private universities from other countries, offering some of the degrees from other countries, is not at all the solution.
Don't you realize, considering all the priorities of our country, we are currently unable to expand the public education. But if we have private universities, we can gain foreign exchange, and through that money, we can help the state education. State education
discussions are going on to increase the GDP rate from 2% to 6%, and also to continuous function of these private universities, it needs continuous financial viability. Do you think Sri Lanka has such wealthy philanthropic donors to keep on providing money for these state institutions? And also, ma'am, your time is running out. So do you think Sri Lanka has enough wealthy donors to keep providing money for the functioning of these universities? What if these private universities goes bankrupt or mismanaged? So me and my team strongly believe that private universities should not be established in Sri Lanka for the betterment of our students of Sri Lanka, for the betterment of and why promote inequality? Why promote the theory of survival of the fittest again? Thank you.
To the conclusion of the face-off round, questions were thrown from the proposition to the opposition, vice versa. Questions were answered, arguments re-established. But now we're ready to present to both the teams their last and final opportunity to receive a third-party opinion. Because a coach has the ability to break or make a team, and the guidance and the advice given will be crucial. While we take an extremely short commercial break, the teams will consult their coaches. Welcome back. We're ready to move on to the rapid fire round, where the third speaker of both the proposition and the opposition is now ready to face a firing squad of questioners who will be chosen by them. Ready to invite the representative from the proposition, Hillbrook College Kandy, who will be representing their team for the rapid fire round. And this will be Corita Fernando.
Hi, I'm Corita Fernando. I'll be going for the rapid fire, and this is history in its making.
I have with me Corita Fernando from Hillbrook College Kandy representing their team for the rapid fire round. And Corita, will you be able to tell us what your selections would be?
Rizwa, Shakira and Nimra.
And the firing squad will now begin. Opposition, the floor is now yours.
Your speakers earlier mentioned that private universities would be successful in Sri Lanka. So give me one valid reason as to why the Colombo North Private Medical College overturned into a state university in the name of Ragama University.
Actually, the thing is that's just one example, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Ma'am, can you explain as into why it is not wrong?
So now it's a state university, now everything is right, the degrees are accepted.
Exactly, so you're indirectly accepting that state universities are better than private universities.
Yes, of course. So I'm not saying, but the thing is, state universities cannot cater to all the students. The thing is, the other students, we are seeing brain drain here because they are going abroad. We are losing our money. If we have universities in Sri Lanka, we are going to gain foreign exchange and many other things.
Ma'am, when students study in private universities affiliated by abroad, they have to complete their final 2 years abroad. Psychologically, they tend to stay there, and brain drain occurs because of private universities.
You are talking about partnerships.
What? Can you justify your statement? What do you mean partnerships?
That's like when you have a university over there and they have some courses over here, and then you have to go abroad to finish it. But when we have private universities in Sri Lanka, you can finish the course in Sri Lanka, and they can work in Sri Lanka, they can get employed in Sri Lanka, and without sending housemaids abroad, we can actually send some doctors, a surplus of doctors abroad.
Ma'am, we've already had a bitter experience in the past with a university in Malabar. So why do you want history to repeat?
The Malabar problem is solved now.
How can you say it's solved?
Because if you don't read the newspaper, it's not my problem.
Ma'am,
the university's approval was frauded. They did not get the correct signature. They did not provide proper statistics, as in proper papers for the government. They frauded and established the university. How can you say the problem
do you
is
think
solved?
Sri Lanka has such wealthy philanthropic donors to keep on financing these private universities? Yes or
And
no?
Sri Lankan Medical Council has stated that this Malabar University is not registered under the Sri Lankan Medical Council.
You are saying Sri Lanka is not able to develop the things, but the thing is that's why we need private universities. They'll come to Sri Lanka and they'll improve our standard of education.
Ma'am, you all have been harping about lack of opportunity provided in the public sector. This problem will still prevail among the financially disabled sector. How can you provide solutions for that?
When you want to become a doctor, you are aimed at becoming a doctor, and if you want to become a doctor, you go to the university, you get a student loan, and when you get your aim, you can pay up that loan. And the thing is, we are not going to take the education from the poor and give it to the rich.
Ma'am, if now you said you wanted to be, example, you want to become a doctor, you fail, there are several opportunities. If you fail to become an MBBS doctor, you can still try on dentist and then do science. If not, write A-levels for the second or third child.
A-levels don't realize they are ruining the education system due to the stiff competition. People are going for such a lot of tuition and they're spending fortunes on that. And when they don't get into the university, they're heartbroken. They're psychologically and mentally unstable. And then
Provide one solution for inequality created when private university is coming.
okay, when there are state universities, there's obviously going to be people part of the society who's going to be educated, and part of society that's not going to be educated. Then the rich people will go abroad, leaving the poor in the country. We need rich in the country to survive.
Ma'am, are you trying to dissolve free education concept in higher education?
No, I'm not trying to kill state education.
But by opening up private universities, you are killing free education.
How so?
Because you are providing inequality opportunity for the rich and poor. There is class discrimination.
Class discrimination is going to exist if we don't have private universities, because it's something like the poor has something against the rich has nothing against the poor. The rich will be studying at their own expense.
What about the students who are economically and socially they are poor? And what are the solution you are going to give them? They can't
I
afford these
already
private
answered that
universities.
question.
Ma'am, parents have to make a rational choice if they have limited resources, whom to educate and whom not to educate.
So you are telling just because they can't educate, they should just leave the people uneducated and move on. We are not going to improve in our economy if that's the situation.
And ma'am,
What solution would you
what is the solution you would do if private university is going to bankruptcy?
You see, when we have an education commission and when we have the bill, a private university is always going to have a backup plan. Your school, my school, they are both private institutes, private schools. So just because of that, if the school is not going to close down, they are going to have a backup plan. And if they cannot cover the cost, they'll obviously increase school fees.
The youth of a country play a crucial factor when it comes to the future as well as the development of a country. And within this context, education proves to be of extreme importance. And that is the main reason why today the proposition and the opposition are battling out such an important and sensitive topic. While keeping this in mind, we're ready to invite the speaker from the opposition who will be representing Muslim Ladies College for the rapid fire round. Afra Niaz, this is over to you.
Hey, I'm Afra Niaz, Muslim Ladies College, third speaker. Expect the unexpected.
Afra, you're ready to tell us the choices for rapid fire?
Sachin Pini, Amani, and Koriba.
Proposition, the floor is now yours.
What are the solutions for social, economic, psychological problems for the 85% who qualified and didn't get through to the state university?
Expanding the public system in order to ensure that inequality does not prevail while the students who
How
are
are you
deprived
going to
of
do
their
that with the
opportunity.
limited
Yes,
economic
ma'am.
resources?
According to the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the GDP will go from 59 billion to 100 billion US dollars. And with this macroeconomic development and by the expansion of job markets, we can ensure that the public system can be expanded.
How can you prove that that's just a statement, expanding job markets? What sort of job markets are you going to
Yes, ma'am. Diversification of employment, rethinking the governance structures, productive transformation, with perhaps the help of the private sector.
How are you going to provide full employment when the courses provided by the state university is not sufficient to match the employment?
And the baby is being bathed in the tub. The water becomes dirty. Do you throw the baby along with the water or do you change the water? Likewise, there are certain problems with the public system. We should rectify these faults instead of establishing a completely contrasting system, ma'am.
But sometimes there comes a time when you need to clean the tub. There are other things you should, like open the tap to fill in the tub.
Yes, ma'am, those are the government procedures. So the government will
So
take
when you open up
procedures.
private universities, we get a foreign exchange into the country. So
Ma'am.
that can help improve the state university.
Ma'am, you stated about foreign exchange. Public universities have more recognition than private universities according to proposition. Therefore, by expanding the public university, we can ensure the attraction of foreign students, thereby expanding our foreign exchange while ensuring the concept of equalization in perspective of education. Yes, ma'am.
This crisis has been going on since the 70s. Like the proposal made by the government in the form of the white paper to expand education in Sri Lanka, which is obvious failure. So isn't this an obvious example to say that public universities cannot be expanded?
Okay, ma'am. You stated that expanding the public system is an absolute failure. Why? I can give you evidence to prove that the universities, private universities that are subsisting in Sri Lanka have been absolute failures as well. Therefore, instead of establishing a contrasting system repetitively, we should increase the amount of students to the public sector.
How are you going to do that when you cannot
I stated
expand
that, ma'am.
Yes, when you cannot expand, you're just saying you're going to expand the state university, but that's not possible currently, considering we are after a war and it's hard, considering parties like health, and what about brain drain?
So, ma'am, yes.